Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. In the light of the threat posed by the Delta coronavirus variant, the National Capital Region will be placed under Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ from August 6 to 20, as announced by Malacanang today, July 30. Indoor dine-in services and al fresco dining are prohibited. Only takeout and delivery are allowed. For people working in these establishments, operations are allowed to continue and finish within the day. On the other hand, personal care services such as beauty salons, beauty parlors, barber shops, and nail spas will operate up to 30% of the venue or seating capacity. Indoor sports courts and venues and indoor tourist attractions and specialized markets of the Department of Tourism may not operate. Outdoor tourist attractions, as may be defined by the DOT, shall remain to be allowed at 30% of venue capacity. Only authorized persons outside the residences shall be allowed to travel in and out of the NCR Plus area, which includes Cavite, Bulacan, Laguna, and Rizal. Only virtual religious gatherings shall be allowed. Gatherings for necrological services, wakes, interment, and funerals for those who died of causes other than COVID-19 shall be allowed, provided they are limited to immediate family members.
Inaprubahan po ng Presidente ang rekomendasyon ng inyong IATF na ilagay ang National Capital Region sa ilalim ng General Community Quarantine subject to heightened and additional restrictions. Ito'y magsisimula ngayong araw hanggang 5 ng Agosto. Ngayong araw po hanggang 5 ng Agosto. Simula sa 6 naman ng Agosto, ang NCR ay may escalate sa Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ hanggang 20 ng Agosto 2021. Ito po ay 6 to 20th August 2021, ECQ po ang NCR+. Hindi po naging madali ang desisyon nito ha. Maraming oras ang ginugol para pagdebatihan ng bagay nito dahil binabalanse nga po natin yung pagpapabagal ng pagkalat ng COVID-19 dahil sa Delta variant at yung karapatan natin na mabuhay at mabawasan ang hanay ng mga nagugutom. Pero matapos po ang matinding debate, kinakailangan magkaroon ng desisyon. Masakit na desisyon po natin to dahil alam nating mahirap ang ECQ, pero kinakailangan gawin po ito para maiwasan yung kakulangan ng ating mga ICU beds at iba pang hospital requirements kung lolobo po talaga ang kaso dahil nga po sa Delta variant. Sa huli, ang inisip ng lahat ay ang kailangan gawin na ang hirap na desisyon na ito para mas maraming buhay ang maligtas.
The national government would not yet impose curbs on the movement of unvaccinated people, as clarified by presidential spokesman Harry Roque. This after President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, in a televised address late Wednesday, told people who refuse to get vaccinated not to leave their homes as a precaution against the virus spread, and he directed policemen and barangay officials to escort these people back into their homes because they are a walking spreader. Roque, however, admitted that imposing movement curbs on the unvaccinated may eventually be implemented when population protection is attained in Metro Manila and several other areas. So far, the palace officials said 30% of the targeted population in Metro Manila have been fully vaccinated. More than 7 million Filipinos have so far been fully vaccinated. Around 11 million already took their first coronavirus shots. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte offered his gratitude for the U.S. aid to the country's pandemic response during a meeting with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III in Malacanang on Thursday, July 29. Austin is in Manila for a two-day visit seeking to revitalize America's alliance with the Philippines. He and Duterte also discussed enhanced bilateral cooperation in the fight against illegal drugs and other transnational crimes, maritime domain awareness, as well as trade and investments. The United States recently delivered around 3.2 million doses of the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccines to the Philippines under the COVAX facility, a global vaccine sharing scheme. Prior to the J&J vaccine deliveries, the Philippines has been given more than 7 million jabs from the COVAX facility. The initial U.S. contribution to the global vaccine initiative reached $2 billion. The United States has provided support for the Philippines' efforts to protect public health and support the local pandemic response. The pandemic aid given by the U.S. to the Philippines has so far amounted to 1.38 billion pesos based on the information from the U.S. Embassy in Manila. The country's vaccine expert panel will likely come up with some recommendations next week on the use of coronavirus disease booster shots for those fully vaccinated individuals, particularly the country's healthcare workers and those who are immunocompromised. Vaccine expert panel head Dr. Nina Gloriani disclosed this in a palace press briefing on Thursday, July 29. In a radio interview last week, Gloriani had noted that should the government allow the use of COVID booster jabs for those inoculated with China's CoronaVac, the initial list of priority recipients may include the elderly, those with comorbidity, and healthcare workers. She said the panel is taking note of a study conducted by Chinese researchers showing that antibodies from Sinovac's COVID-19 jabs fade after 6 months and that a third shot had a strong booster effect. Now, let's take a look at the latest news in other parts of the country. Here are the details.
The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology on Friday, July 30, 2021, lowered the alert level status of Mayon volcano from 1 to 0 as monitored parameters are back to normal levels. Philbooks explained that lowering alert status from alert level 1 to alert level 0 means that observational parameters have returned to baseline levels and no magmatic eruption is foreseen in the immediate future. The public is still reminded to avoid entry into the 6-kilometer parameter danger zone due to perennial hazards of rockfalls, avalanches, ash puffs, and sudden steam-driven or phreatic eruption at the summit area which may occur without warning. Mayon volcano has been at alert level 1 or abnormal status since July 17, 2020. The Department of Health in Region 8 has confirmed 10 cases of COVID-19 Delta variant with 1 death in Eastern Visayas on Thursday, July 29. The results were based on samples sent to the Philippine Genome Center in June and July, which logged a total of 97 cases in the country. Of these, 3 reportedly died while the remaining 94 have recovered. DOH Region 8 disclosed local transmission of the said variant cannot be determined yet because there is an ongoing investigation over the said cases. Davao City government is planning to put up an express lane for vaccination against COVID-19 exclusive to overseas Filipino workers by next month. Davao City COVID-19 Task Force spokesperson Dr. Michelle Schlosser said the tentative schedule for their express lane is on the 2nd or 3rd week of August. She added that the OFW Express Lane aims to assist OFWs who are required to get full doses of vaccination for their employment abroad.
Now for the updates from news around the world, here is that report.
China reported small coronavirus outbreaks driven by the Delta variant in 3 provinces on Thursday as a cluster linked to an eastern airport spreads despite mass testing and a vaccination drive. The flare-up, which began after 9 workers at the Nanjing airport tested positive on July 20, has seen 171 cases detected in Jiangsu province. Officials in Jiangsu have locked down hundreds of thousands of residents and shut down internet cafes, gyms, cinemas and karaoke bars, and even libraries. The city has tested all 9.2 million residents twice. The southwestern province of Sichuan reported 3 new cases Thursday, while Beijing reported 2 locally transmitted infections, the first in 6 months. Israel will start offering a third dose of COVID-19 vaccination to people aged over 60, as announced by Prime Minister Naftali Bennett on Thursday. This is one of the first countries to provide a booster shot. The jobs will begin on Sunday as part of the complementary vaccination campaign, who were fully vaccinated more than 5 months ago. About 55% of Israel's 9 million population has been double vaccinated, most with the Pfizer-BioNTech jab. Last month, health officials announced they would open up vaccination to children as young as 12, which earlier this week they said those aged 5 to 11 at risk of serious health complications could be vaccinated from August 1. Would you prefer a pint of chili beer or garlic beer? A microbrewery in Canada is reinventing the beverage by brewing unusual beers on demand to satisfy customers' thirst for novelty. Based in Quebec City, Brassure-sur-le-Monde is the province's first brewery to specialize exclusively in niche beers. For them, unusual beers allows their customers to explore different palates, different tastes, and to adapt to different moods.
Here are the latest news in showbiz. Let's watch this.
Musician Rico Blanco recently re-recorded River Maya's Alab ng Puso. On Facebook, he dedicated the song to weightlifter Hidilyn Diaz, who ended the 97-year drought for the Philippines in its quest for an Olympic gold medal. Blanco said that he was very much inspired by Diaz's victory and he wanted to say thank you by uploading a recording of the said song. Hidilyn's historical win was met with many celebrities extending their congratulatory messages, including the international 3-member band Laney.
And the latest news from Manila Bulletin's sports section. Let's watch this.
After an epic Olympic stint in Tokyo, Japan, Filipino skateboarding sensation Hidilyn Didal once again wished for the creation of more skate parks in the Philippines. On Instagram, Didal said she wishes that the country can have good skate parks so that she can share how fun skateboarding is. This has been her request from the beginning, especially after reigning supreme in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games held here in the Philippines, where she bagged 2 gold medals. Didal echoed the same sentiments she had 2 years ago, saying that the gold medal hauls by the national team served as the wake-up call for the construction of skate parks in the country.
And those are the news on web today. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow, or you can log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again on Monday. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.